were discussing from first chapter of Canto 6, wherein being requested by Srila Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami, with an intention to test him, it tells that performing Prachita rituals is the best means of avoiding entry into hellish planetary systems and also avoiding the hellish punishments. Then Parikshit Maharaj says that, my dear Sukadeva Goswami ji, performing Prachita rituals is like elephant bathing. Elephant goes to the river, nicely bathes, comes out and puts dust. So people perform rituals. Temporarily they may be happy, but again they perform sinful activities. Again perform rituals, again perform sinful activities. This will never end. I don't think this is a proper solution. Then Sukadeva Goswami says that, okay, no problem, that is fine. But the proper solution is practicing jnana, which includes sense control, mind control, study of the Vedic literature, following so many rules and regulations, etc. So, by all these things, one will develop the proper knowledge that what is sin, what is not sin, what is to be done, what is not to be done, why one should do what one is supposed to do, and why one should not do what one is not supposed to do. Being endowed with all this knowledge, one can avoid doing sin. Like that Sukadeva Goswami says. But Parikshit Maharaj is not at all happy. So looking at the unhappy face of Parikshit Maharaj, then Sukadeva Goswami says that Bhakti. Bhakti can uproot all sinful desires. Just like Jnana is like a forest fire, which can burn the entire forest. But the seeds which entered into the cracks underneath the ground will remain intact. When there is rain, again they will grow up. Similarly, Bhakti is like sunlight. Early in the morning during winters, you can see fog all over. But after sun rises, when there is clear sunlight, in no time, maybe in 10-15 minutes, all the fog is completely taken out. You don't see any trace of fog. Bhakti is like that. When one executes Kevala Bhakti, it is unalloyed devotional service, this takes place. Not that any kind of Bhakti or superficial Bhakti. When one executes unalloyed devotional service, this can take place. So there is no such auspicious path than Bhakti in this world. Bhakti is the most auspicious path which can award one shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So like that, Sukadeva Goswami had mentioned the glories of Bhakti. So in culmination, he was saying that, see, Bhakti is not practiced as an atonement for avoiding the sinful reactions. The removal of sinful reactions is only a byproduct. But the real purpose of practicing Bhakti is to attain Prema Bhakti unto Supreme Lord. That is the real goal. Other things will go away just like that. How? Sakran Manakrishna Padaravindayor Niveshitam Tad Gunaragi Eriha Nate Yamam Pasha Brutat Tad Batan Swapnepi Pashyanti Chir Nishpata. Says that even if one takes Lord's holy name once, properly, wholeheartedly, even if one focuses on the lotus feet of Supreme Lord properly, one does not even see the Yamudutas, even in the dream. Then what to speak of the reality? Even in dream, one does not see Yamadutas. Then how can one see while awake? And then the one does not go to hell only. So like this is only a mere byproduct of practicing Aikantika Bhakti. So like that, Sukadeva Goswami was saying. So having said that, Parikshit Maharaj might say, my dear sir, that is fine. You say that Bhakti has so much potency. Bhakti is meant to practice pure Bhakti, pure devotional service, to unlike devotional service, Prema Bhakti. And a byproduct of Bhakti, that Bhakti is, one does not even see the Yamadutas, even in one's dream. Then what to speak of seeing them in awake condition? So, but is there any proof anyone who has taken up to Bhakti had attained such kind of situation? So like that, a question might come in the heart of Parikshit Maharaj or any one of us who are hearing this section of Bhagavatam, who are reading or hearing this section of Bhagavatam. So anticipating that question, Sukadeva Goswami himself will tell about a story which took place long back and which established the glories of Bhakti. We will continue from text number 20 onwards today. Atra chodaharanti mam itihasam puratanam dhutanam Visnu Yamayo samvadastam nibodame. Someone read the translation.
In this regard, learned scholars and saintly persons describe a very old historical incident involving a discussion between the order carriers of Lord Vishnu and those of Yamaraj. Please hear
Yeah.
of this to me. Sorry, Prabhuji, I couldn't recite the shloka. Wasn't able.
No issue, no issue. It's okay. So here he is telling that Sukadeva Goswami is anticipating a question. That is fine. You are speaking about the glories of Bhakti, but are there any examples like that? Who, by taking shelter of the Lord's holy name, had not gone to hell, had become freed from going to hell and attained shelter in the Lotus of the Supreme Lord. So now Sukadeva Goswami is saying that concerning this subject, the wise cite the ancient story of Ajamila. Itihasam Puratanam. Itihasam means a story, historical account. Puratanam, when it happened, sometime back it happened, long back it happened. And please hear from me that story in which there is a conversation between the servants of Lord Vishnu and Yama. Dhutanam Vishnu Yamayo. Samvadam tan nimodame. So there was a conversation between Lord Vishnu's servants and Lord Yama's servants. And by hearing that conversation, a person got delivered. And person was saved from going to hell and hellish punishments. So that is what he is going to tell now. He now Sukadeva Goswami narrates a story to show the meaning of his statement. Hear from me that story in which there is a conversation of the servants of Lord Vishnu and Yama. So now people always ask questions. When this story happened, where this happened, like that, like that, like that. So at least as as it is mentioned in the shlokas, we can see later on a couple of verses later it comes that at the age of 88, Yamrutas came to take the life of Ajamila. So that shows that he is a person of Kali Yuga. Because later in the second chapter, it said that he was given 12 more years for practicing bhakti. Total lifespan is about 100 years. And that way it is Kali Yuga. So did it happen this Kali Yuga? Here it is said Itihasam Puratan, some old story. So we can, we can say that, okay, in some of the Kali Yugas, at the very beginning of some Kali Yuga, this story might have happened. Maybe in the previous Kali Yuga or previous to previous that Kali Yuga. Some Kali Yuga at the very beginning, where people's lifespan is about 100 years. And this took place. Like that we can take and then move on. So now, when it happened in some recent Kali Yuga, where it happened? It happened in Kannakubja, a place known as Kannakubja. Some say it is Kanoj, some say it is Kanpur. Kanpur or Kanoj are same and Kannakubja same, like that we hear. So that was the place this entire pastime happened. So here one place is Kannakubja, where Ajamila was living initially. And after after Yamadutas and Vishnu's conversion, after he got second chance, then he goes to Haridwar. In Haridwar, he performs severe austerities and bhakti for the remaining 12 years. So these are the two places where this entire event took place. So the first chapter, whatever is mentioned in the first chapter, this will happen in Kannakubja. Whatever is mentioned in the second chapter, that will happen in the Haridwar. Afterwards, he goes to Haridwar and he practices all the austerities and attains perfection. From Haridwar, he goes to abode of Lord Vishnu. So like that. The places and time that way we can infer when this happened, where this happened, etc. Next verse. Kanyakubje dvijakkaschet
कान्यकुब्जे द्विजा कश्चित्
दासीपतिरजामिलः
दासीपतिरजामिलः
नाम्ना नष्टसदाचारो
नाम्ना नष्टसदाचारो
हास्य संसर्गदूषिता.
दास्यसंसर्गदूषिता. In the city known as Kanyakubja, there was a Brahmin named Ajamila who married a prostitute maid servant and lost all his Brahminical qualities because of the association of that low class woman.
Yeah. Kanakubje Dvija Kashe Dasi Patir Ajamilaha. There was a Brahmana Dvija in a city known as Kanakubja, and he married a Dasi. So he married a maid servant, and Namna Nashta Sadacharo Dasya Samsarga Doshita. Being associating with that Dasi, he lost all good conduct. That is what is indicated. So basically about whom? Here, the story of Ajamila is told in multiple states. First time it is mentioned by Sukadeva Goswami. Next, Yamadutas also will speak about it. And later on, Vishnu also will speak about it. Like that, multiple people speak about his story, different sections of his life. So we can combine all the different parts so that we'll get complete story. Bandi Akshay Kaitavas Bandi Akshay Kaitavas Chaurye
बंदी अक्षय कैटवश्चौर्यैर्
Garhitam Vrittimasitah
गर्हितां वृत्तिमासितः
Ibhrut Kutumbam Asuchir
बिभ्रत् कुटुम्बम् अशुचैर्
Yatayam Asadehinah.
यातयाम् आसदेहिनः. This fallen Brahmana Ajamil gave trouble to others by arresting them, by cheating them in gambling, or by directly plundering them. This was the way he earned his livelihood and maintained his wife and children.
Yeah, somebody may ask question. You are talking about Kanya Kubja and you are also talking about a Ajamila, a Brahmana. And how did he marry a male servant? Okay, even if he married a maid servant, what is the problem? What is the problem? Why marrying a maid servant is good conduct has been disturbed? Somebody may ask questions. So what kind of disturbance he created in his good conduct? That is mentioned in this verse. Bandi Akshay Kaitavas Chauryer Garhitam Vritti Masitaha. The sinful Brahmana maintained that wife and her children by taking up a condemned profession, by tying people up, gambling, cheating, and stealing. He thus afflicted many living entities. So here, the story which is mentioned by Sukadeva Goswami goes in a fast forward mode. It does not give many details. It quickly comes to why the conversation between Yamadusa and Vishnu took place. What is the principal reason for that? He focused on that. But the actual life events of Ajamila, what exactly happened, why things happened in the way it is happening now here, the details will be mentioned by Yamadutas because Yamadutas maintain the complete account of what one does. Later on, while reading the Yamadutas response, we can understand that what kind of account the Yamadutas maintain. Chitragupta will maintain in what great details about all our life activities. That way we can understand. Here Sukadeva Goswami briefly telling, but Yamadutas go into great details. So like that. He says that Ajamila, a wonderful Brahmana, married a maid servant, a Dasi, and in her association, his good conduct had destroyed. So, in what way his good conduct has been destroyed? That is mentioned there. In order to maintain that Dasi and her children, the sinful Brahmana maintained that wife and her children. So, here it is mentioned that her children. So, so these are all children of the Dasi. In the sense, though the Dasi was with Ajamila, and she gave birth to 10 children. Later, Namadutas will tell that they produced 10 children. They begot 10 children, and Ajamila was maintaining her and her 10 children. So some of the Bhagavad Kathakar they say that. So Sukadeva Goswami is telling that he had 10 children, but she is not telling that the 10 children were their children, Ajamila and Dasi's children. So indirectly they are saying that this lady had given birth to 10 children, but all these 10 children are either due to Ajamila or somebody else, not sure. That's why they said that um, her children. So, so, in order to be with her, he is also maintaining her children. So, but also they say that it is not that they were born before Ajamila had married her. After marrying her only, the children were born. But there is no guarantee that all the children were his children only, or due to him only. So that is the condition. That's why it Bhagavatam couple of places it says he is actually maintaining her and her children. Bibhrut kutumbakam asuchir yatayam asadehinam. So in order to maintain her and her children, he created so much pain to many other people. How he created pain to other people? Bandi, by tying up people. So people who are like traveling from one village to other village in the forest, he would catch them. He would steal whatever they have. He would rob them and he would bind them. And he would say that you give me whatever money you have, then only I'll release you. Otherwise, I'll bind you here and I'll go to village. The night tiger will come and eat you up. The people out of fear of life, they would give whatever they have, and they would gamble. So by gambling, he would earn money to maintain her and her family, and he would cheat others, and he would steal from others. So Chaurya is stealing, Kaitava is cheating, Akshay is gambling, Bandi means tying up people. They are the four immoral, unethical occupations he would follow. He would tie people to cheat to take their money, or he would steal from them, or sometimes he would gamble, and sometimes he would cheat. So, in order to maintain her and her 10 children. Bandi means making someone a prisoner. Akshay means by gambling. He made a living by cheating, gambling, and imprisoning others. Thus, he gave pain to other living entities. So, these were the, in this way, the pious Brahmana has become highly impious and he performed so many sinful activities. As a result of that, Yamadutas came to take him to hell at the time of death. So, like that, Sukadeva Goswami is directly coming to the point where the conversation between Yamadutas and Vishnudas took place. That was the main focus.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Prabhuji, this lady was Dasi or she was prostitute? Because if she's
see,
prostitute, why someone will keep her as a Dasi now? Generally,
see in the Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami using the word Dasi. So Srila Prabhupada translates from the beginning to the end as the prostitute. Because later on, why it happened, that is mentioned from that. The overall story, if you see, it appears like that. So in that way, it is taken. So actually, Acharyas explained that she was actually maid servant. She was actually working in somebody else's home, and something happened. Ajamila, in order to associate with her, initially he brought her to his own home as a maid servant. Because he already married, his wife is there, his father, parents are there. He was youthful. He did not have any children. He married, and he was also having his parents in home. But he brought her to his home as a maid servant in the home, and slowly he started developing connection with her. And when it was known to his parents, his wife, he threw his wife and parents out of the home, saying that who are you to question me? He threw them out and he began to associate with her after marrying her. So Dasi became his wife, and then they gave birth to 10 children. So like that. In that way, she is actually her profession was Dasi, a maid servant.
Yeah, because prostitution is quite a grave thing. Means marrying a prostitute is much more graver than marrying just a dasina. That's what means I felt in the gravity wise if we try to analyze. And also we see
E-
many,
Mm.
yeah, we see
Please,
many
please.
kings in the past now that they also had connection with the dasis apart from their own queens like
Mm.
Devani and Sharmishta and all. We see that that those are the glaring examples. But kings do used to keep relations with the dasis as well, apart from their queens. So means it's not that I'm trying to support Ajamila's activities, but I'm just trying to understand that why then this was so much because he left his Brahmanical duties. That was the main thing.
Not only Brahminical duties, the kings, even though they had connection with dasis, but they never disrespected or thrown out their wives and their parents.
Yeah, yeah,
So, but here, it's entirely offering happening in the opposite way. So in that way,
right, right. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Priya.
these are the few points. Of course, because here the story, entire story is not there. It will come later on. So when we combine the whole things, the overall story will get an idea. But Prabhupada from the very beginning he writes prostitute, prostitute only. So because the nowadays, at least in the West, people cannot connect to it. So in that way, Prabhupada writes. So now continues. Sukadeva Goswami continues. एवं निवसतस्तस्य
एवं निवसितस्तस्य
लालायानस्य तत्सुतान्
लालयानस्य तत्सुतान्
कालोत्यगान् महान् राजन्
कालोद्यगान् महान् राजन्
अष्टातिशायुषा समः
अष्टाशीत्यायुषा समाः. My dear king, while he thus spent his time in abominable sinful activities to maintain his family of many sons, 88 years of his life passed by.
Yeah, if you remember, previously also we discussed in Canto 3, chapter number 30, the activities of a person in the mode of ignorance. In order to maintain one's own family, what kind of activities a person in the mode of ignorance performs. So there, like philosophically, it is mentioned there. But here an example is shown. So here Ajamila, after throwing his wife, his good wife and his aged parents out of the home, and he married a maid servant and he produced 10 children. Here it is clearly mentioned, Lala Yanasya Tatsutan, and began to take care of her children. Tatsutan. It is not mentioned their Suta, their children. It is clearly mentioned about Sat Tatsutan, Unka Putru. While he thus spent up his time in abominable sinful activities to maintain his family of many sons, 88 years of his life passed. So while maintaining the maid servant and her 10 children, uh, time passed very quickly. So he came to 88 years. So Ashta, Ashitya means 88. Ashta is 8, Ashitya means 80. Total 88 years. So this gives a clue that yeah, this pastime took place in one of the remote Kali Yugas. So in that way we can take. Time related to age has passed. How much time? 88 years have passed. While for these 88 years, so later on it will be mentioned that initially, in order to please her, in order to attract her, he would give his wife's jewelry, his mother's jewelry, and he would spend the entire wealth of his father. When father and wife and mother would stop him or try to ask him, why are you doing like this? He threw them away. After throwing them away, the entire wealth of the father is his only. And he emptied the entire wealth. then there was no wealth left. So in order to get more wealth, he began to capture people to get whatever money they have. He would steal from the people. He would play gambling, and he would cheat others. He would say that I'll give you money, please give me some emergency is there, and he would never give them back money, something like that. All these dishonest means he would follow in order to maintain her, in order to maintain her children. So like that, how long he did it? When he came to 88 years. So when he was youth, he began to associate with her, and like that, the whole life went ahead. So then what? 88 years passed. So what? That is the question now. Sukadeva Goswami question. Yes, someone is saying something.
Yes, Prabhuji, I was just trying to understand that is it the only lust which took over everything, like all the impressions of Brahminical upbringing for him from the childhood, all the love and affection of the parents, love of wife, everything in one side, and the lust on other side. So just lust is so powerful that it can wipe off effect of all the impressions in the past.
Yeah, it can. Ravana is also another example. Ravana being attracted by Mother Sita, he not only destroyed himself, he destroyed the entire Rakshasa lineage only. The entire Lanka has been destroyed because of one man's uh, uncontrolled lust.
Yeah, because generally we see now, Prabhuji, that from the childhoods, whatever impressions we have gathered, they are very long lasting. Even though we may not be able to follow, or those were the karmi things, but still we have those impressions. Yes, this thing my mother used to do, or like that. But he's wiping out everything. And another thing was like, was he aware that means here we are discussing again and again that her children, her children. So was
Hmm.
he aware that those all those are not his children? That means his wife was involved with someone else also after marrying him also. So
Because
was
he
he?
was so much enamored by her, even though whether he knew or he does not knew, he,
It
for
didn't
him
matter.
she is more important than other things. So as long as she
Mm-mm.
is with him, remaining things are okay. Something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's quite. This is quite highlighted in this incident, na, that lust can wipe off everything in the life.
Hmm.
Uh, Thank you. Priya.
Of course, this is one example of the six anuratas. Anything can do all these things. So even kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, masara, any of these things can wipe out everything. But here is a striking example of kama. For another places, other example may be there.
Yeah.
So we can
Right.
think of other examples also. For example, in the 11th canto, there was a story of Avanti Brahmana, I suppose. He was a Lobi. He was an example of Lobi. He would gather a lot of wealth. He would never spend even one penny for his family members. But at one point of time, the entire family member threw him out of the home.
Yeah.
So that was another example of Loba. So out of greed, one may not spend even one penny for anything. One may not give any charity or anything also. But that can also destroy one's good fortune, and one will be thrown on the road side. So anything, any of the six anuratas can do anything. But according to the context, the examples are analyzed.
Right. Oh, thank you. Priya.
For example, Hiranyakashipu. He is an example of Mada. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Moha, Matsara. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada. Yeah, he is Mada. He is an example of Mada. He is arrogant. He is proud. He said, no, everyone should worship me. The entire world, including Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, everyone is worshipping him. Only a small 5 years old boy is not worshipping. He could have said, okay, no problem. हाँ छोटा बच्चा बाद में हो जाएगा, ठीक हो जाएगा. He did not give him. So as a result of that, he died. Not even 1 year he could continue to live for that. So we hear that when Prahlad was 5 years old, one day he called him and sat him on the lap and he asked him, "What did you learn?" Prahlad said something he did not like. He said he chastised the teachers. The teachers taught him something, maybe 6 months. Again, Prahlad was brought back. Again, he asked, "What did you learn now?" Prahlad said, "Bhakti." "How Bhakti?" "Take him and kill him." And he said, "Bhakti unto Lord Narayana." "Why Narayana? Take him and kill him." They tried different means to kill him. They did not become successful. And then Shanda and Amarka came. No, no, no problem. We'll take care of him. We'll put him under the service of our Guru, our father. So by serving Guru, he will become normal. They took him back to school. He began to teach his classmates. The teachers became afraid and brought him in front of the father again immediately. And father died in no time. So overall story might have been 1 year only. So he developed a big position and he became the king of the entire three universe after performing austerities for 10,000 years long. But because of his arrogance, he died in 1 year. Within 1 year, everything has been collapsed to zero. So in that way, you can think of, we can analyze in this way all different examples also.
Yeah, and in Satya Yuga, 1 year is nothing, no, Prabhuji. Like,
Nothing.
yeah.
So now, 88 years have passed. Now, Ajamila is 88 years old. Maybe he might have completed his Gurukula education, married around 25, 30 years age. From 30 years age, he might have seen this maid servant. From 38 to 88 years, he was with her. Now, what happens? Let us see. Tasya pravayasa putra
तस्य प्रवयसां पुत्रां
दश तेषां tu yo vayamavama
दश तेषां तु यो वमः
balo narayano namna
बालो नारायणो नाम्नां
pitroscha dayito brusham.
पित्रोश्च दयितो भृशम्. That old man Ajamila had 10 sons, of whom the youngest was a baby named Narayan. Since Narayan was the youngest of all the sons, he was naturally very dear to both his father and his mother.
So before reading this, once in one Bhagavatam class, I had this story. I think Prahlad Prabhu or someone told this. So in other Purana, some other Purana, the story is mentioned. So Ajamila, after marrying her, he would live in the outskirts of village. So the entire village had what you can say boycotted him from the village. No one allowed him to come into the village and stay in the village in the midst of all religious people. So he was staying on the borders of the village, and no one would ever go to his home because they know he is living with a maid servant and all the things are happening, etc. And that's why he was performing all these stealing and robbery, etc., etc. Because no one would give him any work also in that way. So now, at one point of time, some sadhus who were traveling in that village and they're begging from door to door. By the way, they happened to come to the house of Ajamila. So at that time, Ajamila was not there in the home. He went out doing his regular routine business, stealing somebody, etc., etc. So his wife was there. So the sadhus came and asked her bhiksha. So the wife, somehow, by looking at the sadhus, she became compassionate upon the sadhus. So she said, "So, my dear sadhus, we don't have anything to give you, but don't stay here. Please go away. If my husband comes, he will beat you all and he will rob you. Whatever you have, he will rob you everything, he will rob everything that you have. So, better you go away from here immediately." So the sadhu said that why so? They ask what exactly, what the story, etc. And she tells some story of Jamila, etc. All these things. So then the sadhus, while going, they looked at that lady. That lady was pregnant. So the sadhu said that, so no problem. When you will get a child, you name him as Narayana. By that, your husband will transform. Saying that, the sages went away. And now the question comes: why the sages have come to the house of this Ajamila? So Purana says that the aged parents and the wife whom he threw them out of his home. So initially, for a few years, they were not. They were actually cursing with their son. We took care of our son very nicely. He threw us away on the roadsides, etc. But they were devotee brahmanas. So at the end, before leaving the body, they were praying to Lord Narayana, saying that, "So my dear Lord, my son, our son has deviated from the religious path. Please, only you can do something. We cannot do anything. Either we or anyone in the village, any elders, we try to tell him, try to give him the good sense of life, religious understanding, but he did not listen to us. Only you can do something. You as a Paramatma can give transformation in the heart, something like that." Then, by the inspiration of the Lord, being directed by Paramatma, these sadhus happened to come to the house of Ajamila. And at that time, at least, Ajamila was not at home, and his wife had spoken some good words. She did not chastise the sadhu. She said, "My husband, before my husband comes, please leave from here." So she said, "Anyway, we don't have anything to give you, offer you, and our family is not so religious, and the entire village boycotted us. We are staying outside village. You better, you please go away from here quickly." So by all these other things, at the will of the Providence, they told her, "When your son is born, you name him Narayana." So after the son was born, she named him as Narayana. Tasya Pravayasa Putra Dashatesham tu Yogaman. That old Lajamila had 10 sons till now, of whom the youngest was named Narayana. He was the object of affection of both his father and mother. So Ajamila's the 10th son, when he was about 88 years, his 10th son was born. Maybe this boy might be around 1 year, little plus or minus, because very small boy. So Ajamila would spend most of his time with the small boy. Because other sons also might have grown up, 10 sons, no, they might have grown up. They also might be following the footsteps of their father, stealing and robbing and cheating and gambling, etc. etc. If this is small boy at home, so he would spend most of the time when he was at home, he would always caress the small child. While doing so, he would always call Narayana, Narayana, like that. So he had a lot of affection for this small child, both mother and father. Sabadda Hrudayastasmin
सबद्धहृदयस्तस्मिन्
Arbake Kalabashini
अर्भके कलभाषिणी
Nirikshamanas
निरीक्षमाणस्तल्लीलां
Mumude Jarato Vrusham.
मुमुदे जरठो वृषम्. Because of the child's broken language and awkward movements, old Ajamila was very much attached to him. He always took care of the child and enjoyed the child's activities.
The old man, Jarata, very much attached to his small child, who could not even speak clearly. Arbake Kalabashni. Matlab, he is only about 1 year old. The small boy is not even can speak properly. He would speak all broken words. By looking at the childish activities of the small boy, and by hearing those broken words, he would take great joy. Mumude Tallilam. The small child's activities are the source of pleasure for both Ajamila and his wife. So this is how he was leading his life. So what else Ajamila would do with this small boy? So in order to explain that attachment, he has a lot of attachment for this 10th son. So that attachment is explained in these verses. So one is uh, he was His heart is completely attached to the small child because he's small, and he was mesmerized by the small child's activities, crawling or walking, and the broken words, etc. भुञ्जाना प्रवि भुञ्जाना प्रतिबन् खादन्
भुञ्जाना प्रतिबन् खादन्
बालकं स्नेहयन्त्रितः
बालकं स्नेहयन्त्रितः
भोजयन् पाययन् मूढो
भोजयन् पाययन् मूढो
न वेद आगतमन्तकम्.
न वेदा आगतमन्तकम्. When Ajamil chewed food and ate it, he called the child to chew and eat. And when he drank, he called the child to drink also. Always engaged in taking care of the child and calling his name Narayana, Ajamil could not understand that his own time was now exhausted and that death was upon him.
Bunjana while eating, Prapiban while drinking, Khadan while eating and chewing, Balakan Sneha Yantrita. Out of affection, he would feed the child and make him drink. Whatever Ajamila would eat, he would eat one morsel and he would chew inside his mouth and take out and put it in the mouth of the small child. Because the small child even does not have teeth, so he cannot chew the food. So Bajamila would himself will chew the food and take out from his mouth and put it in the mouth of small child. And he would give water and whatever he would do, even for everything, every small thing. Ajamila come here, Ajamila sit next to me, Ajamila eat this, Ajamila drink this, like that. He would always take care of the child completely. Thus, mesmerized by the childish activities of his child and being engaged in showing his love and affection toward the small child, Ajamila does not know that his death is coming. His death is fast approaching him. Na Veda Agatam Antakam. The death is fast approaching. Death in the form of Yamadutas are coming to him. But Ajamila does not even know that. In that way. स एवं वर्तमानोऽज्ञो
स एवं वर्तमानोऽज्ञो
मृत्युकाला उपस्थिते
मृत्युकाल उपस्थिते
मतिं चकार तनये
मतिं चकार तनये
बाले नारायणाह्वये.
बाले नारायणार्वये. When the time of death arrived for the foolish Ajamila, he began thinking exclusively of his son Narayana.
Yeah, he is 88 years old and whole day he was taking care of his child and while we are not sure whether it is night time or daytime, whichever time, he was lying on the bed and suddenly the Yamudutas came. So when the Yamudutas came, looking at the Yamudutas, he understood that he is going to die. And when he is going to die, he was thinking about his small son. Because all these years, he was performing all these sinful activities such as stealing, robbing, and binding some people for money, and then gambling, playing gambling matches, and cheating others in order to maintain his entire family. Now his concern is about a small child. The remaining children are grown up. What will happen to the small child? How will he grow up? Who will take care of him? I was only taking care of him. He does not even have teeth. I was only chewing and feeding him. So like that. Rajamila began to think about the small child whose name is Narayana. Looking at the Yamadutas, he was worried about it. Srila Swami says it is suitable to conclude that by the power of chanting the name of Narayana while caring for his son, he developed bhakti. So somebody may question that so why among all the different things, why Ajamila was thinking about Narayana looking at Yamadutas? Why not somebody else? So this could be the result of his parents' prayers. And this could be the result of his chanting Narayana Narayana since the time of the child is born. 1 year, one whole year he was actually chanting whole day Narayana Narayana, hundreds and thousands of times he must have said Narayana word in the entire day. So as a result of that, unknowingly, bhakti is already manifested in the heart of Ajamila. Like that, Acharyas are saying.
Hare Krishna.
Ah.
Prabhuji, like I also read somewhere that it is not that only at the last breath Ajamila chanted Narayana name in Namabhas, but throughout the year when he was taking care of the child and calling him Narayana, Narayana, that was also considered as a Namabhas, like that, like
No,
Samadhi.
see, whether that is Namabhasa or what is it is, we'll see that in the later on, second chapter and all. But for now, see, for 1 year, he was chanting Narayana. Why it is Narayana? Why it is Namabhas? Because he is not committing any offense for any devotees. He himself
Yeah,
is staying outside the village and he is stealing people. He is performing sin, certainly. But that sin is not a offense. That is not a aparad. So
actually,
that way,
yeah.
so
No.
he is chanting of Narayana is not with any aparad. That's why it said Namabhas.
It's a bit difficult to understand, Prabhuji, because so many sins he was committing, and there must be some Vaishnavas in the village unto whom he must have committed. So,
See,
without any.
thing is not like that. See, when a activity becomes sin and aparad, see, when you know that somebody is a Vaishnava, you are treating him as a Vaishnava, then if you do something, that becomes aparad. For a person like Ajamila, it does not matter whoever it is. He is simply interested in the money. Whoever it is, it does not discriminate who is who. It does not even care for the other's identity. You only interested in money. When there is no understanding of who is who and is only interested in money and is taking from even Vaishnavas also, that will never become aparad. That will become sin only. After knowing who is who, then if you do something that becomes aparad. At least this is my understanding.
That is a Jagai Madhai also, they could
Jagai Madai
raise.
also does not know.
Yeah,
Of course, Jagai Madai knew, na. Previously also Nityan Prabhu encountered Jagai Madai a couple of times.
but
From
still, yeah.
at
Hare
least
Krishna.
because
Yeah.
Jagai and Madai is always throughout the days in Nasha only. Even though if you know, these are the Vaishnavas always singing nicely, they would say that he sings very nicely. Yeah, they would also dance hearing kirtan somewhere else. Then Nityan Prabhu is doing kirtan and at other place, these two would be dancing, hearing their songs. But they were always in intoxicated state. Even though they may say that these Vaishnavas, these and all, but they don't have the proper discrimination. What do you mean by Vaishnava, etc., etc. That also is sin only. What Jagai Madai did, hitting on the forehead of Nityan Prabhu, that is also a sin.
Yeah. Means if knowingly somebody this is a Vaishnava and does any crime knowingly, that is more grave and becomes aparadha. But if
Yes, yes.
unknowingly, without any understanding, if someone just performs something, then it will considered as a sin only. That is not that grave, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. And
And
Hare
uh, yeah,
one second. Here, both for a aparad, both should be devotees.
both should be.
He also should be a devotee. He is also a Vaishnava and he also knew about others being Vaishnava. If something happened between both of them knowingly, then it becomes aparad.
Okay, means both the thing, the party who is getting offended and the one who is inflicting the offense, both should be
Mm,
both should understand that we both are Vaishnavas, like that.
mm, mm.
Okay,
Is the
okay.
one who is doing, of course, see, for at least the one who is doing, if he knows that they are Vaishnavas, if he understands that what do you mean by Vaishnava and all, then also the sin can be called as offense. But if both are, then it is definitely it will be called as aparadha.
Okay. And one more thing, Prabhuji, like we are accusing the Ajamal's wife, saying that she was a prostitute and she was a low-born lady and dasi and everything. But like the story which you narrated from some Acharya's commentary, like there she is having more sense than him, that she's telling that my husband, if he will come, he will rob you, so please go away, I don't want you to get assaulted by him. So she knows that how her husband is like. So,
Yes, she knew how he is getting money. She knew everything.
so she is having more good sense in that sense. So,
It's okay. We don't have to compare. But see, as a woman, no, she is mother of many children, and see, ultimately, in one sense, for her, someone should maintain her. So Ajamila is maintaining her. She is with her, with him.
yeah,
So in that way,
right. And also it highlights the means the intensity of Ajamila's lust, because
mm,
then Narayana, the last child, is 1 year old and he's 88 years old. That means at the age of 86, 87, he has begot a child like that.
children. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you, Priya.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji, you are saying something. Ganga Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, in that Mandavya Rishi was who had to go through tribulations because of some misunderstanding, and then he
Mm,
was punished by the king. So
mm,
he goes to Yamaraj and he asks him that why he had to go through this.
mm,
So Yamaraj says that when he was very small,
mm.
very maybe probably must be 3, 4, 5, I don't know. He had
Yeah.
killed some insect.
Mm,
So whatever sins a child commits, the
mm,
of I had heard this. I don't know how far this is true. That a child commits the sin, the reactions to those sins go to the parents.
yes.
And up to what age, Prabhuji? Like up to 5 or 6 or what age?
No, recently in one of the Bhagavatam class here, we were reading that because we were going through this third canto Mandava Rishi comes, na? Then
Yes, yes,
Vidura was introduced.
yes.
So it is said that up to 14 years,
Up to 14 years.
up to 14 years, 14 years is the time where the child is educated in every aspect of life. Till 14, na? Our 10th happens up to 15 years, na? 10th class we come up to 15 years.
Okay,
So by then, it is the combined responsibility of both parents and the teachers.
okay. And
It is their
even
responsibility to give the proper knowledge of what is what to the children. If children does any mistake during that time, it is the responsibility. The parents will take the responsibility of that. If the children would stay with the parents till 6 or 7 years, then they would go to Gurukul. So as long as they are with the parents are responsible. And when they are in Gurukul, the Guru is responsible. At least from 15th year onwards, the child will develop proper discrimination power to understand what is what.
hmm. And
That's why it
also
is there, na? There is one verse, na? Pancha Varshani Lalayet. Till 5 years, one should uh, take care of the children very nicely. From 5 to 15, Dasha Varshani Tadayet. From 5 to 15, the Guru and the parents should actually, if required, they should actually chastise the children. If you tell, if they don't listen, then beat. They should listen. What is good, what is right, what is wrong. It is the scriptures
yes,
only saying that. Till five
this
years, you should not. So,
this is
and
from
5 to 15, you can. Mm. After 15, the parents should treat the child as friend because
yes,
now they understand what is what. Now they will take responsibility of their own life. So like that.
yes. This is from Chanakya Pandit's this verse,
Of course, Chanakya is also summarized from Vedic literature. You know, it is there in Mahabharata also.
Mahabharata.
Whatever Chanakya has given, it is nothing but the summary of our Vedic text.
And even very old people beyond a certain age, they
Mm.
sometimes they perform a lot of seva aparadh. So even that is excused, no, Prabhuji?
See, anywhere there are two ways. Something happens knowingly, something happens unknowingly. Something happens accidentally, no one can do anything about it. It happens to someone, one should realize and then beg forgiveness and move on. Something happens intentionally that will have grave effect.
Okay.
In that should be careful.
Okay. So whatever happens intentionally, that you get a reaction for that.
Ah, that is a grave response. There will be.
Thank
Something happens accidentally and one realizes it and begs forgiveness, it can be nullified.
thank you.
But anyway, Ajkal the parents are pampering their children more than anything. Whatever chastisement they have received when they were children, they are trying to do everything undo in opposite way. They would say that my parents never are like that, like us. So my parents would beat me a lot. I will never beat my children. So my parents never gave whatever I asked. I will give whatever my children ask. Now the parents are doing everything opposite what they went through. So they were actually pampering the children so much.
So this way, Prabhuji, the parents get reactions for this attitude also.
Obviously, definitely. So whatever they have given up until 15 years, 14 years, and by then till the end of the 14 years, the teachers and parents should take the responsibility according corresponding responses. This is what Shastra is saying. I'm saying.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sorry. सापातास्तां त्रीं दृष्ट्वा
Sapasha hastam strin drishtva
पुरुषान् अतिदारुणान्
purushan atidarunan
वक्रतुण्डान् ऊर्ध्वरोम्ना
vakratundan urdhvarumnam
आत्मानं नेतुमागतान्
atmanam netumagan
दूरे क्रीडनकासक्तं
dure kridana saktam
पुत्रान्नारायणाय नाप्ययम्
putram narayana vayam
प्लावितेन स्वरेणोचे
plavitena swarenu chair
आजुह्वाकुलेन्द्रियः
ajuhava kulendriyaha.
Please read the translation.
Yes. Ajamil then saw three awkward persons with deformed bodily features, fierce, twisted faces, and hair standing erect on their bodies. With ropes in their hands, they had come to take him away to the abode of Yamaraj. When he saw them, he was extremely bewildered, and because of attachment to his child, who was playing a short distance away, Ajamil began to call him loudly by his name. Thus, with tears in his eyes, he somehow or other chanted the holy name of Narayan.
So, in the previous two verses also we saw that he was 88 years and Mrityu came. What do you mean by Mrityu came? Mrityu came means the Yamadutas came. So who came and all is mentioned next verse. But when Yamadutas came, how many Yamadutas came? Three Yamadutas came. Sa pasha hastam strin drishtva whom nisa purushan atidarunam ati bhayankar loko dekata. Ajamila then saw three terrifying persons. What do you mean by terrified persons? Twisted faces. Vakratunda. Anyone you remember Vakratunda? Who is Vakratunda?
Ganesh, Lord Ganesh.
Ah, Ganesh ji has the elephant face, na? The trunk is coming up, coming front, and is going twisted around, and two teeth are there, etc., etc. So these Yamadutas face also somewhat twisted like that. May not be exactly like Ganeshji, but somewhat twisted, not straight like human beings. And then hair standing erect on their bodies. Urdha Romna. They have mota hair, and all the mota hair is standing straight. We have soft hair, but these people will have strong hair like the nails, like a nail tree. If you see the nails, how they come like that. So then Atmanam Netum Agatam, they came to take him away. So Ajamila saw them. He saw them coming close to him. And then it is said that Dure Kiranakasaktam. So nearby, the Putra, Narayana, is playing. So this is I said, that's why I said it is not clear the daytime or nighttime. Most probably we can think like this. So in the afternoon he had lunch and he wanted to take some rest. He was taking rest. Then Amudutas came. And Narayana is playing nearby. Next to Ajamila's bed, a small child is playing. We saw the Narayana nearby. Plavitena Swara Uchair Aju Aju Hava Kulendriya. Then he said that in great anxiety, with prolonged cries, he loudly called for his son named Narayana, who was playing in the distance. So at this point of time, Ajamila's other children might have gone out for daily business, and his wife might be there in the kitchen and washing the utensils and all after afternoon lunch and all. And then only Ajamila is there and his son is there in the room. And Ajamila began to shout at Narayana, 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 see, the three people are coming, see, three people are coming, something like that. So this is what the condition. So though Ajamila had committed unlimited sins, his sins could be classified into three types. Sins performed by body, by words, and by mental. Manasa, Vacha, Karmana. Thus, three servants of Yama approached him. So why specifically three is mentioned here? Acharya said that because Ajamila performed offenses in three categories: Manasa, Vacha, Karmana, by activities, by words, by within the mind. So three Yamadutas came. If somebody performs more categories of sinful activities, more Yamadutas might come. So in that way. And then later on, we see in the next verses, Acharya, since the context is there, he said that because the name Narayana, because Ajamila was shouting at his small son Narayana, 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 because this name of the Lord contains four letters, Narayana, four syllables. Four servants of Lord Vishnu will come. So like that. Because he committed sins in three categories, the Yamadutas came. Because he chanted the name of Lord Narayana. The Narayana had four syllables, so four Vishnutas came. If somebody chants Krishna Rama, only two Vishnutas will come. And if somebody chants what else? Which are the big names? More bigger than Narayana. Janardana is also four names, four letters.
Madan Mohan, bigger
Ah,
than
Madan Mohan. Six Vishnutas will come. So something like that. So whatever it is, Acharyas are giving some kind of purport to what it is. For now, at least, the three Yamadutas have come and their bodily description is given in these two verses. And since it is Atutaruna, very fearful, Vajamila was crying actually. His shout is also crying, loudly shouting and crying, saying that Ajamila, Ajamila, they are coming, Ajamila. So not Ajamila, Narayana, Narayana. And what Narayana will understand is only 1 year small kid, just now he had lunch and is playing nicely on the ground, on the floor. So this is the situation. And Amadusas are coming nearby. So it is said that Atmanam Netum Agatam, they are coming nearby to take the Ajamila from his grass body. So now what happened? Nishamyamriyamanasya
Nishamya Mriyamanasya
Mukato Ariketanam
Mukhato Harikirtanam
Bharturnama Maharaja
Bharturnama Maharaja
Parshadha Sahasapatan.
Parshada Sahasapatan. My dear king, the order carriers of Vishnu, the Vishnu dhutas, immediately arrived when they heard the holy name of their master from the mouth of dying Ajamila, who had certainly chanted without offense because he had chanted in complete anxiety.
Hmm. O king, hearing glorifications of the Lord from the mouth of the dying man who uttered the name of their master, the associates of Lord Vishnu arrived suddenly. So, see, what is happening here? The Yamadutas came looking at them, he was out of fear. Ajamila chanted the names of his son. But by good fortune, the name of his son is also the name of the Supreme Lord. So at the time of death, one is shouting me, matlab, that sound penetrated all over to the Vaikuntha. And the Lord's servants, Vishnu Dutas, hearing these names, the names of their master, they suddenly came to the scene. Just like Gajendra, when Gajendra, after fighting with crocodile for thousands of years, when realizing that my power is dwindling because I am not the entity of water. Crocodile is the entity of water, it is gaining more power, I am losing my power. Now I have no shelter. When Gajendra understanding, remembering what about his previous life, something like that, he realized only I need to take shelter of the Lord only. No one else can save me at this current condition. So he saw nearby there was a lotus flower. He plucked the lotus flower, offering to the Lord. He began to offer prayers, saying that, my Lord, please save me from this terrible condition. Initially, he said, please save me from this terrible condition, save me from crocodile. Then finally, he said that, my dear Lord, please forgive me for my foolishness. What am I asking? Please save me from my material existence. Please save me from the crocodile of my material existence. So even if you save me from this crocodile, again I will be bound in this material world. But please deliver me from this material existence only. So when he felt wholeheartedly, he was shouting at the Lord and offering prayers and helplessly crying out for protection. The Lord immediately came there. As he was directly calling the Supreme Lord at that time, please save me, please deliver me from this material existence. So even all the devatas who were hearing, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, they were all hearing, but they know that they can't deliver him. They may temporarily, they may protect Gajendra from crocodile, but they can't offer liberation. They were in dilemma whether should we go or not. So when they knew that the Lord, a devotee, is in trouble and is calling the Lord's name, and we should go and protect him. But what he's asking, we can't do it. They were they could not go. But the Supreme Lord immediately boarding on his Garuda Vahan, he was coming and he was telling Garuda, go fast, go fast. Garuda is not going fast. Sri Vaishnavacharya said that since Garuda is not going fast, Lord Vishnu kept Garuda on his armpits and Lord Vishnu flied much faster than Garuda and came quickly there. They could not wait for the devotee go through much more. Similarly here, of course, at least Ajamila is not asking for liberation, not asking such kind of any benedictions and all. Ajamila simply shouting at his son, calling the name of his son, but good fortune that name is Lord's name. So immediately somebody shouting my Lord, my master's name. Immediately the Vishnudutas came there. How many? Four of them came there. So in that way. Hearing Harikirtana, the associates of Lord Vishnu arrived quickly. It came from the mouth of the dying man, uttering Lord's names. That's how we have to understand it. We can see Gajendra's calling and Ajamila's calling is little different. So in Gajendra's case, even though everyone knew, everyone is looking around and they wanted to protect Gajendra, but what Gajendra is asking, they can't give. But here, he is not, Ajamila is not asking anything. So like that, four Vishnus suddenly appeared there without a delay. If they are calling my master's name, how can we see him under trouble? So immediately they came. So like that. विकर्षतो अन्तर्हृदयाद्
विकर्षतो अन्तर्हृदयात्
दासी पतिम् अजामिलम्
दासीपतिम् अजामिलम्
यमप्रेष्यान् विष्णुदूता
यमप्रेष्यान् विष्णुदूता
Varayam asurojasa.
Varayam asurojasam. The order carriers of Yamraj were snatching the soul from the core of the heart of Ajamil, the husband of the prostitute. But with resounding voices, the messengers of Lord Vishnu, the Vishnu dhutas, forbade them to do so.
Yeah. The servants of Lord Vishnu with loud voice, Asur Ojasa, with Gambir se, obstructed the servants of Yama who were dragging Ajamila from his heart. What the Yamadutas were doing? Yamadutas already threw the Yamapash onto the neck of Ajamila, and they were dragging Ajamila, the soul, along with the subtle body. So they were dragging Ajamila and also his subtle body from the gross body. As they were dragging him, immediately the Vishnutas came to the scene and they said, "Stop! Don't do anything." So like that, very loudly, जोर से बोला, तो यमदूत कंपित हो गए. The servants of Lord Vishnu forbade them, saying, "If you want to live, do not drag this Vaishnava Ajamila away. Do not take him away. If you have any desire to live any more in this world, leave him there only. Don't take him any further. If you take him any further, we'll kill you immediately." Like that, they gave a big warning. So the voice is so loud and so full of energy, the Yamadutas immediately stopped. They did not take Ajamila out of his grass body. They immediately, then and there, they became freezed. They stopped whatever they were doing because the voice is so vibrant, and then they could not do anything more. It's like that. So they said, if you dare to, I mean, if you want, if you have any desire to live anymore, stop it there only. If you do any further, you will die. Like that, they gave strong warning. So hearing those words, Yamaduta stopped there itself. That is mentioned in the next verse. Uchur nisheritastam te
ऊचुर्निषेधितांस्तयस्ते
Vaishnavata, sorry, Vaivashvata Pura Purastara
वैवस्वतपुरासरा
Keyuyam Pratisedharo
केयूयं प्रतिषेधारो
Dharmarajasya Shasanam.
धर्मराजस्य शासनम्. When the order carriers of Yamaraj, the son of the sun god, were thus forbidden, they replied, "Who are you, sirs? What have the audacity to challenge the jurisdiction of Yamaraj?"
So being forbidden, the assistants of Yama said to the servants of Lord Vishnu, "Who are you who oppose the rules of Yamaraj? आप कौन है? यमराज का आज्ञा को रोकने वाला आप कौन है?" So like that, they are asking because they heard the voice and they stopped, and then they are asking, "Who are you? Why are you stopping the order of Yamaraj? On the order of Yamaraj only we have come here to take him to the abode of Yamaraj, and why are you stopping us?" And then they make many other inquiries, more details about them. Kastyava kuta ayata
Kasya va kuta ayatah
kasmadasya nishedasa
kasmat asya nishedhatam
kim deva upadevaya
kim deva upadevaya
यूयं किं सिद्धसत्तमा.
yuyam kim siddha sattamam. Dear sirs, whose servants are you? Where have you come from? And why are you forbidding us to touch the body of Ajamila? Are you demigods from the heavenly planets? Are you sub-demigods, or are you the best of devotees?
Now they are asking. So by these inquiries, we can understand that it seems that Yamadutas have never have the audience of Vishnutas till now. This is the first time they are looking at these people, and these people appears to be something strange, some special people. That's why they are asking, "Whose servants are you? Who is your master?" Like they know that they are servants of Yamaraj. They already said that. Vaivashvata Purashara. Vaivashvata Pura matlab the son of Vaivashvan. Vivashvan is sun god. The son of Vivashvan is Yamaraj. And Shara, the Saraha. They are the servants of Yamaraj, who is the son of Vivashvan. We know we have an identity. And who are you? Whose servants are you? Where do you come from? So we have come from Yamaloka. And where do you come from? Which is your abode? Why are you preventing us from taking him away? So why are you stopping us? Yamaraj told us to bring him to Yamaloka, and we are doing our duty. Why are you stopping us? Are you Devatas? Are you some kind of Upadevas? Or are you some kind of Siddhacharana Vidyadharas? Siddhasattama, the best of the Siddhas? Who are you? What is your identity? Please tell me. And why do you forbid us taking him away? Why do you stop us from doing our duty? Why they are asking these questions? Because these four people looks in a strange, different way. Because for Yamadutas, the protruding bodily features is their normal way of dealing with the people. So Vakartunda, that is the natural bodily constitution of the people who are around with them. They always see people like them. But now for the first time they are seeing some people who are very beautiful. And these people have four hands. So this again more astonishing. So that's why they are asking, who are you? Who's master? Who is your master? From where you have come? And why are you stopping us? Are you Devatas? We always hear about some Devatas are there. Are you Devatas? Are you Upadevas, Gandharvas, Kinnaras, Kimpurushas? Are you Siddhasattamas? Who are you? Please tell us what is your identity. So we are asking all these inquiries because your bodily descriptions are entirely different. Now in the next two verses they say what kind of bodily description, what kind of the transcendental form of these Vishnu dhutas that is mentioned in these next verses. So Yamadutas is only describing this. So just like we hear many times Lord Vishnu's descriptions, same way these verses are describing the beauty of the Vishnu dhutas. Sarve Padmapala Saksha
Sarve Padmapala
Pita Kausheya Vasasa
Pita Vasasa
Kiritina Kundalino
Kiritina Kundalino
Lasat Pushkara Malinaha
Lasat Pushkaramalina
Sarve cha Nutna Vayasaha
Sarve Janutna Vayasa
Sarve charu Chaturbujaha
Sarve Charu Chaturbuja
Dhanurnis Dhanurnisangasi Gada
Dhanurnishanga Sigada
Shanka Chakrambuja Shriya
Shanka Chakrambuja Shriya
Disho Vitimiraloka
Disho Vitimiraloka
Kurvantaha Svena Tejasa
Urvanta Svena Tejasa
Kimartam Dharmapalasya
Kimartham Dharmapalasya
Kinkaranno Nishedata
Kinkarano Nishedata. The order carriers of Yamaraj said, your eyes are just like the petals of lotus flowers, dressed in yellow silken garment, decorated with garlands of lotuses, and wearing very attractive helmets on your head and earrings on your ears. You all appear fresh and youthful. Your four long arms are decorated with bows and quivers of arrows, and with swords, clubs, conch shells, discs, and lotus flowers. Your effulgence has dissipated the darkness of this place with extraordinary illumination. Now, sir, why are you obstructing us?
Yeah, your eyes are like the petals of lotus flowers. Sarve, all of you are Padma Palasaksha. All of you have eyes like that of the lotus. Dressed in yellow silken garments. Pita Kaushaya Vasasa. Decorated with garlands of lotuses. Huh? Garlands of lotuses. And wearing very attractive helmets on your heads and earrings on your ears. Kireetina, Kundalino, Lasat, Pushkara Malina, the garlands of lotus flowers, and Mukuta, Kundali, Makar Kundal, and Sarvecha, Nutna Vayasa. All of you appear youthful, Nutna Vayasa. They are always in youth. Just like Lord Krishna is always Santam Vayasika Aishwarya, 16 years old, these Vaikuntha Vasis are also always 16 years old only. They will never grow beyond that. So they are always in the Kaishora to Yavana Avastha, 16 years old. Sarve Charu Chaturbhujam, and your four long arms are decorated with bow, Dhanur, and quivers, Nishanga, arrows, Asi, and swords, clubs, conch shells, discs, and lotus flowers. All of you possess four hands, and all of your four hands are decorated with different weapons. What kind of weapons? Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma are there, and some also having a bow and arrow, some also having quiver, some also having sword and etc. etc. So these are all different weapons they are holding. And your effulgence has dissipated the darkness and defeats all other light. Disho Vitimira Loka Kurvata Svena Tejasa. Your brightness will eradicate the brightness of all other things. So if you assume that it is on the afternoon, there is also the brightness of sun. They are inside the room, so there may be little lesser, but still the entire area became fully effulgent by the presence of these four people. Kimartam dharma palasya kinkarano nishedta. Why then are you obstructing the servants of Yama? Dharma palasya kinkara. We are the servants of Yamaraj, who is the follower of Dharma, and all of you look like gentlemen. All of you look like completely knowledgeable people. And why are you stopping us? We are simply following the instruction of Dharmaraj, who is the follower of Dharma. And all of you also seems to be like Dharma Parayan. And how can you stop Dharma activity? Like that they are saying. By your appearance, you look most well behaved. By your effulgence, you defeat the darkness and other lights. You appear proper. But why are you acting improperly? Your external appearance is very proper, very bona fide, very humble, very gentle, but you are acting in a wrong way, improperly. So please tell us what is your identity, who are you, from where you have come, etc. etc. So it is like that. So any questions till now? Hare Krishna, all of you are able to follow?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
What about other devotees? You are there or not? You can also recite some time. You can read translations also. Okay. If there are no questions, we'll take a couple of minutes break, then we'll continue. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, devotees are there.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
So we'll continue. Shri Shuka Uvacha
Shri Shuka Uvacha
Iti Ukte Yamadutaiste
Ityukte Yamadutaiste
Vasudevoktakarinaha
Vasudevoktakarinaha
Tan Pratyuchuhu Prahasvedam
Tan Pratyuchuhu Prahasyedam
Mega Nirhadaya Gira.
Megha Nirhadaya Gira. Shukadev Goswami continued. Being thus addressed by the messengers of Yamraj, the servants of Vasudev smiled and spoke the following words in voices as deep as the sound of rumbling clouds.
Yeah, because Yamudutas asked the questions. Who are you? Whose servants are you? From where you have come? Are you Devatas or Upadevatas, Siddhas, Gandharvas, Kinnaras, Kimpurushas? Who are you? Externally, you seems to be appearing like well-behaved personalities, but you are ill-behaving. What is this? The Vishnudutas become little bit angry when they heard that you look like well-behaved people, but you are behaving ill. So you dare to question us? So instead of answering who they are, the Yama Vishnudutas ask cross question. They ask so many questions to Yamadutas. That will be in the next two verses. So the Goswami says now, when the servants of Yama had the spoken, the servants of Lord Vishnu replied to them while smiling, with voices like rumbling clouds. They were smiling at Yamadutas. Oh, you people, you said that you are the servants of Yamaraj. You are Dharma Pala Kinkara, the servants of the one who is following Dharma. So now, with that, taking that as a clue, they will ask so many questions. They smiled. You, you do not know Dharma. Because of fear of us, you say that you are the servants of Dharma, but you are merely a type of preta. Having come into our hands, how will you live now? So they, that they are smile. They are saying that you people speak so much about you are the servants of Dharmapala, that Yamaraj, Dharmapala Kinkara. Actually, you people are not the servants of Dharma. Servants of Dharma are those you know Dharma. You people do not know any Dharma only. Only out of fear of us, by looking at us, you out of fear of your life, you say that we are followers of Dharma, this, that, you taking Yamaraj name, all these things. You people are a kind of preta only. हाँ हमारा हाथ में पकड़ गया आप कैसे छूट जाएंगे देखते हैं so having come into our hands we'll see how will you get away with your life and the Mutta said that no we are the servants of Yama who does not recognize us the entire universe knows that we are servants of Yama everyone knows about it then the messengers of Lord Vishnu then speak oh you say that the entire universe knows that you are servants of Yama okay let us know are you really servants of Yama or not Sri Vishnu Duta Uchu
Shri Vishnuduta Uchuhu
यूयं वै धर्मराजस्य
Yuyam Vai Dharmarajasya
यदि निर्देशकारिणः
Yadi Nirdeshakarina
भूतधर्मस्य नस्तत्त्वं
Bhuta Dharmasya Nastatvam
यच्चाधर्मस्य लक्षणम्
Yacha Dharmasya Lakshanam. The blessed messengers of Lord Vishnu, the Vishnudutas, said, if you are actually servants of Yamaraja, you must explain to us the meaning of religious principles and the symptoms of irreligion.
Yeah, you say that you are the servants of Yama only. The universe knows about you. Yeah, now tell me. If you are really the servants of Yama, please tell me the nature of dharma. धर्म का लक्षण धर्म का तत्व क्या है और अधर्म का लक्षण क्या है what are the characters of अधर्म you must be knowing you are servants of dharma है तो धर्म के बारे में पता है आपको धर्म क्या है अधर्म क्या है so this verse and next verse the Vishnudas will ask 6 questions so for more clear understanding I put the numbers and the later on the Yamadutas will respond there also I put the numbers so that you can correlate This will be one of your questions. What are the questions asked by Vishnudas and what are the answers given by Yamadutas? So tell us the nature or essence of dharma and the measurement of adharma, the measurement of dharma, and also the nature and measurement of adharma. So please tell me the tattva of adharma and lakshan of adharma. Please tell me the tattva of dharma and lakshan of dharma, both. So tell me all these things. So dharma also there are different dharmas, na? Good dharma, medium dharma, best dharma, better dharma, and adharma also. Small adharma, medium adharma, big adharma. So all these things are there. So please tell me about all these things. Please tell the distinction between dharma and adharma. That are two questions. The next question, next four questions they'll ask in this verse. Katam svid dhruyate dandaha
कथं स्वीक्रियते दण्डः
kim vasyasthanamepsitam
किं वास्यस्थानमीप्सितं
dandya kim karina sarve
दण्ड्यः किं कारिणः सर्वे
aho svid kachinan aho svin katachinranam.
अहोत्स्वित् कतिचिन्नृणाम्. What is the process of punishing others? Who are the actual candidates for punishment? Are all karmis engaged in fruitive activities punishable, or only some of them?
Yeah. Third question is, how is punishment administered? Katam svid dhriyate danda. So किस प्रकार punishment is administered? What is the judgment procedure? What is the reason for punishment? Kim vasya tat sthanam epsitam. For what reason punishment will be given? Who is punished? Danda kim. किस किस को punishment देंगे? Is everyone punished, including animals? Is all the living entities are punished, or only human beings? Or among the human beings, only some are punished? Is all the living entities are punished? Is all the human beings are punished, or only some in the human beings are punished? So like that. Total 6 questions are asked by Vishnu Dutas. They ask about the method of punishment, the reason for punishment, the persons who are punished, and the scope of punishment. So who all will be punished? Does the punishment occur for all animals or only for some among humans? तो किस किस का punishment दिया जाएगा? का क्यों दिया जाएगा? What kind of punishment is given to what kind of activity? And etc. कारण क्या किस किस कारण से punishment दिया जाएगा? Like that, they are asking all these different questions to Yamadutas, because Yamadutas says that we are actually the followers of Yamaraj. We are the servants of Yamaraj. The entire universe knows. To forget about the universe, first you tell me what is dharma, what is adharma, and how punishment is given, who will be punished, and what is the reason for punishment, and overall will be punished. All the living entities are only humans, or among the humans only few. Please answer all these questions. So without telling who they are, they will tell at the end of the conversation. But now they are asking questions. आपके बारे में बहुत क्या बोलते हैं, तो आपका पहचान के बारे में बहुत जोर से बार बार बोल रहे हैं, बताओ क्या है, बताओ. Like that they are asking. So now Yamadutas will respond. Text number 40 to 45. The 6 questions are answered by Yamadutas. These are good verses. So couple of verses are there. You can memorize these verses whenever. At least this now it is Gita Marathon month. When we go out for distribution, people ask so many questions, and these verses can be quoted. It is not that Yamadutas are speaking; what they are speaking is also proper only. They are not making up words. So even though these verses are spoken by Yamadutas, but they are actually they have good sense of understanding. We can use these verses in order to discuss with new people. So let us see what Yamadutas are saying. Yamaduta Ochu.
Yamaduta uchuhu.
Veda pranihito dharmo.
Veda pranihito dharmo.
Hi adharmastad viparyayaha.
Hi adharmastad viparyaya.
Vedo Narayana Sakshat
Vedo Narayana Sakshat
Swayambhuriti Shushruma.
Swayambhuriti Shushruma. The Yamadutas replied, that which is prescribed in the Vedas constitutes dharma, the religious principles, and the opposite of that is irreligion. The Vedas are directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana and are self born. This we have heard from Yamaraj.
Yeah. Now they are answering the first two questions. They Mudita say that Veda pranihito dharma. Acts which are prescribed in the Vedas constitute dharma. So they ask a question, what do you mean by dharma? What is the lakshan and tattva of dharma? And what is the lakshan tattva of adharma? So whatever is mentioned in the Vedic literature is called dharma. Then what is adharma? Acts which are not prescribed by the Vedas are adharma. Adharma tad viparya. What is mentioned in the Vedic literature that we should do it. You are being a human being, we should do it. That is called dharma. What has not been said in the Vedas, not to do, that is adharma. And what are the Vedas? Somebody may ask, why we need to take the Vedas as a reference? The Vedas are directly Narayana and are born from him. Vedo Narayana Sakshat. Veda Sakshat Narayana himself. Vedas are non different from Narayana and they are born from Narayana himself. That's why they are non different from Lord Narayana. So who told you that Vedas are Lord Narayana and Vedas should Veda whatever is said in the Vedas is Dharma, whatever is not said in the Vedas is Adharma? Swayambhur Sishma. We have heard from our master Yamaraj. We are not speaking out of frivolity. We have heard this from our master and we have full conviction. This is this. Dharma is what is prescribed in the Vedas. What is in the Vedas is the nature of Dharma. And the rules of the Vedas are the measurement of Dharma. What has been said in the Vedas is Dharma, and how to execute the Dharma is the lakshan of Dharma, the rules and regulations of that Dharma. The opposite is Adharma. Because the servants of Lord Vishnu asked about both Dharma and Adharma, the servants of Yama describe the nature of and measurement of Dharma and Adharma. This also covers the question about the reason for punishment. Fourth question, what is the reason for punishment? What is forbidden in the Vedas is Adharma. Because as Vedas forbid something, that is called Adharma. When somebody performs Adharma, they will be punished in the Yamaloka. This is the reason for punishment. What is the reason? Performing adharmic activities. Doing what is forbidden in the Vedas is measurement of Adharma. The Vedas, what are the Vedas? The Vedas are manifested from Lord Vishnu, from the Lord Swayambhu. They arise from the breathing of Lord Vishnu on their own. Lord Vishnu is addressed as Swayambhu. Swayambhu stands for the self-born Lord, the one personality who has no other cause. He is self-born. So, and the Vedas arise from the breathing of Lord Vishnu on their own. This is mentioned in Brodharanyaka Upanishad. Shruti says, Asya Mahato Bhutasya Nishvasitam Etad Yad Rigveda. The Rigveda is Nishvasita, the breathing of the Supreme Lord. Yeshvaita Nishvasita Kala Matavalambya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadanda Nishvasita means Nishvasa, the exhalation. The exhalation of the Supreme Lord Vishnu is appeared as Rigveda. So this is mentioned in Upanishads only, Brodharanyaka Upanishads. So this is how the Yamadutta say, Vedo pranihito dharma adharmasya tad viparyeya. Vedo Narayana Sakshat. Veda are non different from Lord Narayana. And who is that Narayana? Narayana is Swayambhu. Here Swayambhu word can be used for both for Narayana and both for Yamaraj also. So Narayana is Swayambhu and Swayambhu is Vishnu. And from where you know and get to know all these things, we have heard from our master, who is also called Swayambhu. Because Yamaraj is called Swayambhu because he is the direct representative of Supreme Lord Vishnu, who is Swayambhu. That's why Yamaraj is also called as Swayambhu. Though Yamaraj himself is not Swayambhu, he is the son of sun god Vivashwan. But since he is representing Lord Vishnu, he is called as Swayambhu. So like that. So in this way, they answered two questions of Vishnu Dutas. 2 and 3. So the 2, 3 questions. 1, 2, and 4.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, that verse which says Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam, is it part of this section?
Yes, that comes in third chapter.
Acha, of sixth canto.
The same thing. Yही sixth canto and third chapter में धर्म साक्षात भगवत प्रणीतम. That's what he has same thing. Vedo Narayana Sakshat. That
Yeah,
Yamaraj
because
told, and Yamadut is telling that our master told us. Same thing.
okay. Yeah, I was because this sounded the same, so I thought maybe it's here only.
Here only. Third chapter.
Okay. Thank you.
येन स्वधाम्नि अमीबावा
येन स्वधाम्नि अमी भावाम
रजसत्त्वा तमोमयम्
रजसत्त्वतमोमयः
गुणनामा क्रियारूपैर्
गुणनाम क्रियारूपैर्
विभाव्यन्ते यथा ततम्.
विभाव्यन्ते यथा तथम्. The supreme cause of all causes, Narayan, is situated in his own abode in the spiritual world, but nevertheless he controls the entire cosmic manifestation according to the three modes of material nature, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. In this way, all living entities are awarded different qualities, different names, such as Brahman, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, different duties according to the Varnashram institution, and different forms. Thus, Narayana is the cause of the entire cosmic manifestation.
Yeah. Here, somebody may ask question: Who is Narayana? Why you say that Vedas are coming from Narayana? Why Narayana is considered, even if they come from Narayana, why we should take it seriously? That question may come. So the answer is Ena Swadhamni Ami Bhava Rajasatvatamomaya. By Narayana, who is situated in his own abode, these living entities composed of Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna appear precisely with qualities, names, and actions. So, my dear friend, don't think that Narayana means an ordinary person, not like that. He himself is situated in his own abode, but still he creates unlimited universes and 14 lokas within the universe. And the 14 lokas are filled with different personalities. And the different personalities are categorized with different names, different qualities, and different activities. Guna, Nama, Kriya, Rupa, all these things are differently designated. Who is doing all these things? Lord Narayana only doing everything. That is Narayana. Don't consider him to be one among us. Don't consider him to be here and there. He is situated in his own abode, but he does everything here in this material world. Where he is abode? He is abode outside the universe. So then, here we can remember two verses. One verse from Bhagavad Gita, one verse from Brahma Samhita. So, what was that verse? Brahma Samhita. Goloka Dham Nivasa Teklatma Bhuto Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. That Lord Krishna resides in his own Golokadam, but he expands into multifarious forms, and all the forms will carry out all the different activities. That is there. He always resides in his own abode, and other things are his energies are carrying forward so many other activities. One important activity among all the activities that Lord performs is Chaturvarna Maya Sushnam Gunakarma Vibhagasha. So it is the Lord who created all these four Chaturvarnashram, so that all of us can follow properly all these things and lead our life in a proper way. If we deviate from the Chaturvarnashram system, that is called adharma, and we will be punished. The fourth question is, what is the reason for punishment? The reason for punishment is going away from the orders created by Lord Narayana. That is the reason. Who is Lord Narayana? He is situated in his own abode, Vaikuntha. But the living entities are created exactly by his will alone, with qualities like peacefulness, names like Brahmana, actions like studying the Vedas, and forms like Varnashrama. Yata Tatam means properly. So he is situated in his own abode, but he does everything with clear cut distinction. That is Narayana. So, like that. See, what they are saying is absolutely perfectly as per Tattva. There is nothing here and there. That's why I was saying that na? These verses we can use when we are discussing with new people. These are very good.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, like afterwards we see that when Yamadutas reach to Yamaraj, they ask him that apart from you, is there any other master? Nobody has
Hmm,
forbade us till now, but
hmm,
today we were forbid for doing our duty.
hmm.
So it appears there that they are not aware that there is somebody else apart from Yamaraj, and Yamaraj also
No, no,
explains to.
no. You see clear na by Narayana who is situated in his own abode. Narayana is in his own abode. Where is abode is Vaikuntha. It is outside the universe. Yamaduta says that in the universe you are the master. Outside the universe, Lord Narayana is the master. They are
Oh, so
not
they have
discarding
that
that
clear
fact.
understanding. Yeah.
You are getting. Lord is outside the
Yes.
universe, and inside the universe is Yamaraj.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
So they were forbid in the universe. That is why they were wondering that why we were.
Obviously.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So their understanding was Vishnu or his dhutas jurisdiction is beyond universe, not within
Hmm.
universe.
Hmm.
That is why they should not have been forbid. Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Now the third question will be answered. Suryognikam Maruddeva
Suryognikham Marudeva
Soma Sandhyara Soma Sandhyahani Disha
Soma Sandhyahani Disha
Kamku Swayam Dharmaiti
Kamko Swayam Dharma iti
Hiyete Dhayyasya Sakshina.
He Hete Dehasya Sakshina. The sun, fire, sky, air, demigods, moon, evening, day, night, directions, water, land, and supreme soul, super soul himself all witness the activities of the living entities.
Yeah. By Lord Narayana, the sun, fire, sky, air, devatas, moon, evening, day, night, the directions, water, land, and Yamaraja, who are the witness of the activities of the living entities, appear. So the third question was how the punishment is administered. What is your procedure of administering punishment? Now Jamadut is saying that so don't think that my master only is administering the punishment. There are 13 witnesses. They are all witnessing what others are doing, what everyone is doing, and the cumulative information of all the 13 people, based on that, the punishment is awarded. One may think of doing sinful activity secretly when no one is looking, but there are witnesses. By Lord Narayana, these witnesses appeared because Lord Narayana himself had created Nama, Rupa, Guna, Kriya, and Varnashram system, everything. And people, whether people are following it or not, he also created a witness system. So in that way, this is a continuation from the last verse. Day and night, water and earth are all witnesses. So like that. Who are all witness? If you see, throughout the day there is sun. In the night time there will be fire. In all directions there is sky. There is air. There are devatas. There is moon. So daytime sun is there, nighttime moon is there, and evening sandhya, morning sandhya, daytime, nighttime. Daytime also is witness. Nighttime is also witness. The directions are also witness. The water is also witness. Land is also witness. And finally, Yamaraj is also witness. If you see in one sense, Panchamahabhutas must be there. Earth is there. Water is there. Fire is there. Air is there. Ether is there. Panchamahabhutas are there. Surya, Chandra is there. And Sandhyas. Morning Sandhya, evening Sandhya, daytime, nighttime. So throughout the day, throughout the night, in the transit from day, night to day. The whole time is connected. Panchabhutas are connected, and directions are connected, and sun, moon are connected, and all the devatas, and finally, Yamaraj himself. Everyone is there. So there is a verse comes from Vishnu Dharmottara. So that verse also says that Sun, moon, air, fire, sky, ether, water, mind, Yama, day, night, dawn, twilight, and the Lord know the actions of man. So here, instead of Yamaraja, the Lord is mentioned. Dharmo api. So here Dharma is translated as the Lord. In the previous verse, Dharma is translated as Yamaraja, Yamadharmaraj. So in either way, since Yamaraj or the Supreme Lord, both are one representing the other, so that is fine. We are all witness. So by their witness system, the administration is not the punishment is administered. So in that way. So these are all like foolproof system. It is not that there is a loophole. In the modern within the country, we may see people may find loopholes in the judicial system and they try to get away with the sin. But in the large system, I don't think so. Any loophole is there. Everything is covered. All Panchabhutas are covered. Daytime is covered, nighttime is covered, morning Sunday, evening Sunday, both are covered. And sun is covered and moon is covered. And then Yamaraj is also there. Supreme Paramatma is also there. Here, Lord means we can take it as Paramatma. Here, mind is also there. So I don't know what mind is indicating, but mind is also there. So Apo is water, Hridayam is mind, and Yama is Yamaraj. So in that way. Maybe Hridayam stands for Paramatma, the Paramatma who is staying in the heart. Paramatma is also witnessing all our activities, and Yamaraj is also witnessing all our activities. So in that way, all these people are witnessing us.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you mentioned that Yamaraj and Lord both are representing each other. Like, I could understand Yamaraj representing Lord, but how to understand that Lord represents Yamaraj?
See, Yamaraj is a servant of Lord Vishnu.
Yeah.
Okay, it is simple. Guru and Hari. Sakshad Haritvena. We have Lord also, we are Guru, we have Guru also. For us, Guru is representing the Supreme Lord. So Guru is as good as the Lord. And same way, the same Lord is also acting as Guru, as Chaitya Guru. In the heart, as Paramatma, he is also acting as a Guru for us. So in that way, both of them are representing each other. So like the Yamaraj, we can take him. So Yamaraj is locally taking care of controlling us, correcting us. So he is doing Lord's activity.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Etair adharmo vijnata. So actually from now on, few verses we'll try to cover up to 25th verse so that the flow is continued. We have few minutes more and don't repeat after me. Just read the translation. Etair adharmo vijnata stanam dandasya yujyate sarve karmanurodena dandam arahanti karinaha.
The
Please read the
candidates,
translation.
should
Yeah,
I
read
read?
Mataji.
The
Fine.
candidates for punishment are those who are confirmed by these many witnesses to have deviated from their prescribed regulative duties. Everyone engaged in fruitive activities is suitable to be subjected to punishment according to his sinful acts.
The fourth question was, what? Fifth question was, who will be given punishment? And they are answered now. By these witnesses, the acts of adharma can be understood and the cause of punishment is determined. So what is the reason for punishment? Performance of adharma. How do you know that they performed adharma? These are the witnesses. And who will be punished? All performers of sin deserve punishment according to the act. Whoever performs adharma, they will be subjected to punishment. The reason for punishment and the victims of punishment are mentioned. So fourth question and fifth question are answered here. And the next sixth question will also be answered in next two verses. 44, 45 will answer sixth question. Sambhavanti hi bhadrani viparitani chanaga karinam guna sangosti deva dehavan nahi akarmakrit.
O inhabitants of Vaikuntha, you are sinless, but those within this material world are all karmis, whether acting piously or impiously. Both kinds of actions are possible for them because they are contaminated by the three modes of nature and must act accordingly. One who has accepted a material body cannot be inactive, and sinful action is inevitable for one acting under the modes of material nature. Therefore,
Hmm.
all the living entities within this material world are punishable.
Hmm. O sinless messengers, O Anaga, pious and sinful acts arise for all persons who perform acts. See, when we perform any activity according to the three modes of material nature, every activity has some portion of piety and some portion of sin. You cannot say that these people are only doing pious activity, they are not doing sinful activity. Or you cannot even say that these people are only doing sinful activity, they are not at all doing any pious activity, not like that. Every activity has some portion of piety, some portion of impiety. Yes, because all humans are associated with the gunas and cannot avoid action. So some may say that, yeah, ऐसा कैसे? Some people are not doing any activity only. Then there is any pious or impiety? No. If a person is a human being or if a person is a living entity who is in connection with three gunas, you cannot say that they are not doing any activity. Akarmakut, nahi akarmakrit. Dehavan nahi akarmakut. If a person is a dehavan and the deha is made up of three modes, one cannot remain without performing a activity. Thus, this verse explains the reason why everyone is subjected to punishment. So the previous verse said that all performers of sin deserve punishment according to the act. Then all performers of sin, and some people might be without doing any sin, they should not be punished. Then the Yamudu said that no, no. In the material world, since everyone is in association with three modes and everyone will perform some sin knowingly or unknowingly, and they will be given some punishment according to the sin they performed. All persons perform pious and sinful acts because all actors are associated with the gunas, the cause of pious or sinful activities. People may intentionally may not perform pious or sinful activities because they are in association with gunas. The gunas themselves impel one to perform some sinful activities, some pious activities. It is not the person's choice, it is guna's choice. It will happen. To say a person has a whole life of dharma or whole life of adharma is a general designation. You say that the actions arise because of association with the gunas. What if someone does not act at all? He should not be punished. See, sometimes you may say that okay, this person is only dharmic, this person is adharmic. That means majorly performing dharma activities or adharma activities. But when he majorly may be performing dharma activities, but there is some minor adharmic activities also. If somebody majorly adharmic, there will be some minor dharma activities also. There is a general way of saying that majority, according to majority, you may say dharmic person is adharmic person, but you cannot negate that he is not doing other activity. Then the question is that somebody is not doing any activity only, neither dharmic or adharmic. So he should not be punished. All humans perform activities. Being a human, one should perform activity. You cannot say that they are not performing any activity. Non-action of human is contrary to perception. Human means action. So no action does not exist only. So like that, the Yamudutas say. And finally they say that Yena yavan yata dharma dharmo veha samihita sa eva tat phalam bhungte tata tavad amutravai.
In proportion to the extent of one's religious or irreligious actions in this life, one must enjoy or suffer the corresponding reactions of his karma in the next.
Ah, in proportion to one's dharmic or adharmic activities that one performs in this life, one enjoys or suffers correspondingly in the next life. Whatever activities one performs in this life, the next life one gets the results. So what do you mean by what are you talking about this? What do you mean by next life? How does it take place? How can you say that next life is there and all? Somebody may question. Now in the next section, they will elaborate on this principle of how the activities of this life will lead to the next life situation. How is punishment administered? To the extent of adharma or dharma performed by whatever means, one receives the results as suffering or happiness in the appropriate amount, according to the decision of the scriptures. It the scriptures will decide what activity is called dharma, what activity is called adharma, and to what extent by doing this dharmic activity, to what extent the result will be given, the pious result will be given, and to what extent one performs a particular adharma, to what extent the punishment should be given. All these things are clearly mentioned in the Vedic scriptures. Nothing is concocted here and there. Vedas are non different from Lord Narayana. The Vedas are given by Lord Narayana himself. So no one will question the authority of the Vedas. Like that, Yamadhutas are actually establishing. After giving a sutra that whatever activities, all activities we perform because we are impelled by three modes, and the three modes by nature will impel us to perform both pious and sinful activities. But some people majorly may do for sinful activities only, some people majorly do pious activities only, but everyone will do both activities. There is no way that one does not do any activity, not like that. And by performing these activities, one will get next birth, and one's next birth situation of the next birth will be decided based on one's current activities. So what do you mean by that? That is called the process of transmigration. That process of transmigration they will elaborate in the next few verses. So we will quickly see this. Yateha deva pravaras त्रैविद्याम् उपलभ्यते भूतेषु गुणवैचित्र्यात् ततन्यात्रानुमीयते.
O best of the demigods, we can see three different varieties of life which are due to the contamination of the three modes of nature. The living entities are thus known as peaceful, restless, and foolish, as happy, unhappy, or in between, or as religious, irreligious, and semi religious. We can deduce that in the next life, these three kinds of material nature will similarly act.
Yeah. O best of the devas, just as being in this world attain three types of people according to the variety of gunas, so in the next life as well, one can infer such types. They say that as we are living in this world, we come across three category of people. Some people are good, some people are okay, not bad, not good. Some people are bad. Same way, we will also become one of the three categories in our next life. So like that. Notice with your eyes the association with the gunas in this word. My dear, because they don't know what is the identity of the Samnevala, I mean, these people. So my dear, best of the devatas, like they have deva pravaras. They were using the, oh, best among the devatas. So you can actually understand within in front of you only. Notice with your own eyes the association of the gunas. In this world, there are three types of humans: pious, sinful, and mixed. In the next world or in the next human birth, one can infer the person to be pious, sinful, or mixed. This is according to scripture. They're saying that so we can examine the people in front of us. In front of us, always three category of people will be there. Some of them are pious, some of them are sinful, some of them are mixed. And in our next life, we ourselves will be one among these three categories. Other than these three, there are no fourth category in this world. So like that, the Yamadutas are telling. So that means in this life, we encounter three category of people. Being inspired by these three category of people, we try to follow in their footsteps. If we are inspired by pious people, we perform pious activities. If we are inspired by sinful people, we perform sinful activities. If we are inspired by mixed people, we perform mixed activities. And we get similar destiny in the next life. That's what we say, na? Mahajano Vena Gatasya Panta. We need to follow in the footsteps of Mahajanas. Because since Mahajanas gone back to Godhead, by following in their footsteps, we'll also go back to Godhead. Same principle. So like that. वर्तमानोऽन्यो कालो गुणाभिज्ञापको यथा एवम् एवं जन्मान्ययोरेतद् धर्मानिदर्शनम्. So what is the proof for that? Now they say, just as the qualities of the present make known the qualities of the past and the future, the qualities of dharma and adharma in this birth indicate those qualities in the past and future life. So this is the principle of transmigration. So if one wants to know what kind of birth one will attain, and if one wants to know what kind of birth one has attained now, why one has attained the current type of birth, that analysis has been given here. The present life gives understanding of the extent of dharma and adharma in the previous and in the next life. An example is given. The springtime of the present gives an understanding of the qualities of spring with its fruits and flowers in the past and the spring in the future. Currently, winter season is going on. Today, you can experience, nowadays, we can experience what kind of winter is there. So, we have an experience of winter so that you can correlate. So, winter means like this. Okay, this kind of experience I also had in the last December. So, and the same experience I might have next December also. Similarly, the life shows the dharma and adharma of previous and past lives. So currently, by looking at a person in front of us, we have three category people in front of us. Some are pious, some are sinful, some are mixed. So when we come in front of a pious person, we can directly say that. So currently is pious. That means in the previous life also he was pious, and in the next life also he will be pious. So currently who one is, that is an indication of who was he in the past and who will become in the future. So our current activity, it will indicate who we were in the past and who we will be in the future. Everything will be clearly indicated. Just like the current winter, what kind of symptoms are there in the current winter? Less temperature, cold, freeze, all these things. So the previous winter also had the same symptoms, and the next winter also will have same symptoms. The winter means this kind of symptoms will be there always. Same way, pious means that kind of symptoms will be there. Sinful means that kind of symptoms will be there. He is pious now because in the previous life also he was pious. So since he was pious in the past life and this life also, he will be pious in the future life also. So this is like general rule. There could be some exceptions here and there, but generally this is how the trend follows. That is what that Yamadutas are saying, because they know about it. That they have seen many people, they have heard from Yamaraj, and they have seen this kind of continuum in the people of this world. So like that. Hare Krishna, all of you are following. If anybody has any question, you can stop me.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I'm trying to understand, like you mentioned, that one who was pious is appearing pious in this life must have been pious in previous life. And because of his pious activities in current life, he will next also be working as a pious person itself. Like that. No? So, means I didn't understand, means the pious one will remain pious throughout and the impious will remain impious throughout. Is it like that? Like, then because here we
this is a general principle. This is not, see, you don't get to stretch the analogy so much. See, for example, a devotee who already started practicing bhakti and suddenly there was an accident, died. So what do we say generally about for a devotee? If somebody died accidentally, then what do we say? We say that he is a nice devotee and he will take birth in a devotee's family and he will practice wherever he left, he will continue from there. Yes or no? Or we say that he already gone back to Godhead.
Generally, we don't say for the practice.
Generally, we don't say. If somebody has lived his full life and he like great souls, we may say, yeah, he has gone and entered into Nityalila. But otherwise, for a normal person, if somebody died in between, in youth only, he already taken up to bhakti and in youth only died, we say that okay, he will take birth in a devotee family and he will continue wherever he stopped. So that is a normal. Same thing for any person, any category of person, they will continue. For example, you hear about the child prodigy. Some children show great excellence in a particular field. Some may show in mathematics, some may show in Sanskrit, some may show in this, that. Why?
They must
Because
have
they were,
previous
because
life.
they were in the previous life and they are continuing from there on. So it is natural. So we don't have to worry so much about it.
Yeah, because only sometimes some exception, like here in the case of Hajamullah, we are seeing that like, he must have done some pious activities. That is, I got birth in the pious Brahmana family.
Ah, yes.
But in spite of that, he performed impious activities. So next birth, he was about to go to hell, but because of the intervention of means saying Narayana, it was stopped like that.
मनसैवापुरे देव पूर्वरूपं विपश्यति अनुमीमांसते पूर्वं मनसा भगवान् अजा.
The omnipotent Yamaraj is as good as Lord Brahma. For while situated in his own abode or in everyone's heart, like the Paramatma, he mentally observes the past activities of a living entity and thus understands how the living entity will act in future lives.
Yeah. Now we said that Yamaraj, living in his city, sees by his mind the previous condition of a jiva, knowing everything like Brahma. He then decides the present and future forms by his mind. So Yamaraj, looking after all our activities, and he understands that okay, this person is doing this kind of activity, showing in this particular field, in his interest in this field. The next life, we should get this kind of birth. Yamaraj decides based on our current activities only, like that. This is the general method of knowing the dharma and adharma of others. Yamaraja, however, by his mind definitely sees everything. Situated in his own city, Samyamani, Yama sees the person in his previous birth and with his dharma and adharma. So after death, when one goes to Yamaraj, when one stands in front of Yamaraj, Yamaraj sees his entire life, what kind of activities he performed in this in that particular life, and based on that, Yamaraj will award the future next birth, the next destiny, everything. Afterwards, he decides the present and future forms. He decides what is suitable for each person. He is omniscient, like equal to Brahma. Yamaraj is called as Bhagavan Aja. So Manasa Bhagavan Aja is as good as Lord Brahma. Just like Lord Brahma is the creator of every living entity, he knows about every living entity. Similarly, Yamaraj also knows about everything about every living entity, so that he can easily administer the punishment. Where they question, he is like Paramatma, is like Brahma. He knows everything and he awards punishment. No one questioned till now his authority. Like that, Yamadutas are replying to Vishnu Dutas.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Yamaraj also stays in the heart of a living entity, or it is like because the Lord is representative of Yamaraja and Lord as a Paramatma is staying. That is how it is said like Yamaraj.
Since he is bona fide representative of Supreme Lord, to Paramatma everything will be known to him. See, for example, Chitragupta and Yamaraj are there in Yamaloka. And what we are doing here, how they know, how they come to know, and how Chitragupta is noting down everything what we are doing.
Yeah. They must
There is some
be happy.
communication from Paramatma to Paramatma. So like that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
यताञ्जस्तमसा युक्ता उपास्ते व्यक्तमेव हि न वेदपूर्वम् अपरं नष्टजन्म स्मृतिस्तथा.
As a sleeping person acts according to the body manifested in his dreams and accepts it to be himself, so one identifies with his present body, which he acquired because of his past religious or irreligious actions, and is unable to know his past or future lives.
Just as an animal accepts its present body by ignorance, the human, losing memory because of birth, is not aware of his past or future birth. Prabhupada says it as a dream. Same thing also taken here. So just like a Nashta Janma Smritistata, After we take birth through the womb of a mother, we forget completely who we were in the past life. While in the womb, we remember our 100 lifetimes, the past. But as soon as we come out of the womb, we forget everything. Nashna Smriti. And we identify with this body and live the entire life. So like that. In general, a jiva has a tendency for sin, since he is not aware of his previous or next birth. Just as an animal in tamas uses its present body and is happy with its type of food. So a man who loses his memory by being born does not know about his previous or next birth. If a person is born in a precarious condition, which is due to one's previous karmic activities, but after taking birth, he forgets that in the past life I performed some sin, that's why I got this kind of miserable birth now. One never remembers that kind of thing. In spite of that, he says that okay, this life is meant for enjoyment, let me enjoy as much as possible. That's why such kind of person is compared with an animal. So, in that way. Tamasa yukta, a living entity in the mode of ignorance, in the forgetfulness. So, like that. So, Yamaraj knows everything about everyone. One may question that, oh, we also know everything about us. Not possible. Just by taking birth, you will forget everything about your past. अभी किसी कुछ पता ही नहीं रहेगा आदमी को पूर्व जन्म में क्या है हम. So, Yamadut are saying that at the time of birth, one forgets everything about one's past. Does not remember. Yamaraj remembers about our past and present, but we forget after birth. So like that, the principle of transmigration, they are actually elaborating on this. So like that. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Like we see generally, there are some reactions or the punishments which one gets in current life also, which we consider as the reactions to the past life, right? And there are some punishments which the jiva gets after going to Yamapuri, if he is eligible to go there like that. So, those punishments which are awarded here in the current birth as a reaction of our previous whatever activities we may have performed. So those are also governed through the Yamaraj only, Prabhuji, or those are done.
Everything. What we are getting, what we are supposed to get, everything is under the supervision of Yamaraj. So, for example, after we die, we go to Yamaloka. Yamaraj will tell, ये punishment दे दो और उसके बाद इनको ये योनि में प्रवेश करवा दो, उसके बाद ये योनि, उसके बाद ये योनि, उसके बाद ये योनि. It is all ordained by Yamaraj according to our karma.
Okay, so if it is not the human form of a life, whatever yonis वो orchestrated रहेगा पूरा package कि इसके बाद ये उसके बाद वो because of whatever action.
Yes.
Okay, and in human life, whatever one will get, that also will be orchestrated by Yamaraj.
Yes.
Right?
But, why we have taken birth in a particular family, in a particular place, in a particular region, that was ordained by Yamaraj.
So somebody may get some disease or some
That is also ordained by. Disease means not general diseases which are connection to food, but the big diseases.
Yeah.
Somebody getting polio, somebody getting these big diseases which can't be reversed.
Like that, no?
So they are due to our past karmas.
Okay.
So other diseases, small diseases are because of the food. Whatever food we take on that day, that will cause immediate reaction. But big diseases are due to our past karma.
Yeah. But small diseases also must be having some karma part in it, na? Like we see
उस का कर्मा है ना. अभी ज्यादा स्वीट खाएगा तो सर्दी होगा ना. वो उसी दिन तुरंत इफेक्ट है वो. आज का इफेक्ट है.
Okay, उसी जन्म का उसी जन्म.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So other devotees have any questions? We'll stop here because the next 2-3 verses talks about the transmigration. It's already 8:30. We'll not. It will take some time. We'll discuss next week. So if there are no questions, we'll stop. If somebody has questions, we'll take.
No questions. Thank you.
We'll read.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Prabhuji,
very much for joining.
one request, Prabhuji, if you can send which are the verses for the we need to by heart for the exam, then because it takes some time to by heart.
Yeah, I also have to prepare because we last week when Wednesday I had exam, so I did not do anything in the last week. And
Okay.
I'll do in 1 or 2 days. I'll try to send the shlokas for this entire 6th canto and all. Question paper also I'll frame and send first 3 chapters.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Thank you.
So one thing, anybody is going